So what initiatives are you bringing in? What initiatives are you taking in to bring new technology for the development of smart cities?
So I think the most important one is that if you think about the era in which we live in, it's called the fourth industrial revolution. And we need to build our smart cities around the concept of the fourth industrial revolution, which is all about data. So if you think about a smart city, why is it called smart? It's because you use the data which is created to be able to provide better services to the citizens and to all the other stakeholders in the city. So what we have built is 3 very large hyperscale, hyper-flexible and hyper-secure data centers in India. And we believe that this can be the powerhouse for all the data which is going to be used to create these smart cities. And we've created enough capacity to be able to manage these 60 smart cities which have already been identified. So that's one area which is like infrastructure. So just as in the industrial revolution, the power generating stations were the core, in the smart cities it's going to be power, but it is also going to be the huge data centers. So I think that's one of the contributions. Number 2 is we're bringing a lot of intelligence into these cloud data centers. So for example, we've got a whole suite of solutions around the Internet of Things, because this is really what the smart city is about. It's going to have sensors which can actually collect the data, take the necessary, monitor it, and then respond to it and actually take action, like a closed loop feedback system. So we've got all the Internet of Things, all the machine intelligence, artificial intelligence capabilities, which local solution providers can use to develop solutions for the smart cities. And I think the third thing which we are bringing to the table is these actual solution providers working with ISVs, working with startups to come out with very specific solutions for healthcare, or whether it is for smart energy metering, or whether it is for lighting, or even for security, physical security or transportation. So those are the elements which we are bringing to the table, besides the vast knowledge and experience which we've had working on smart cities in other parts of the world.
So how challenging it is to bring in digital infrastructure, digital technology for the development of smart cities when we already lack in terms of infrastructure?
So it's getting much better, and if you think about the government's program on the smart city, if you look at the other programs which they have put into place, infrastructure is a very core area which they're focusing on. So the smart city mission addresses it, but they have other projects also for roads, for highways. The telecom operators, additional bandwidth has been provided. Fiber optic cable is now available right across the country. The MOFN is taking it into rural areas. So it's I don't think we should hold on because we don't have infrastructure. I think the infrastructure is there, and a lot of it is going wireless. So therefore we can do many more things than we could have done even perhaps 6 months earlier, and 6 months from now we can do that much more. What was missing was this large cloud infrastructure, the data infrastructure, and therefore now that we put that into place, the cloud data centers, I think it's time to really take off.
Okay, and so my last question to you would be, do you consider demonetization as a boon or a bane, and do you think this was going to affect the Indian economy in the coming year, 2017? What will be the impact?
I think my view is the same. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think this will really help India going digital. I think I have 2 basic concerns. Number 1 is that obviously the execution and implementation hasn't been as smooth as it should.
Still
but it's
questionable.
a big, bold bet. And I think if they had the luxury of advanced timing, then they could have done many more things. But I think security and confidentiality was paramount in mind. I think the second one which worries me is that let's assume that we get over this hurdle, and I've heard everything from everything will be okay from January, end of January, early February. We have the budget in 1st February, so therefore that will also help. So I do expect that the first half of next year things to start getting better. And then after that, I believe that if we can get over these initial hurdles, the sky's the limit. So therefore, I'm very bullish about what's going to happen in 17, as FY18, as well as beyond. April onwards, I think I'm very bullish about what could the impact be on the economy. The second concern which I really have is really around the fact that we are moving to a digital economy very, very quickly, far more rapidly than we have ever done before or any other country has done before. So one of the areas which I worry about always is security. So we got so many different, plethora of vendors in
Need to
financial
focus more on
services.
cyber security.
We need to focus a lot on making sure our networks are secure. We need to make sure that people are educated. We need to make sure that all the new services and applications which are created, all the devices which are created are very, very secure. And I think that that's one area which we need to start looking at, because I do know that yes, once we get over this initial hurdle, and as digital becomes the way of life, we need to make sure that the citizen is protected.